Math 8, Unit 4, Graphing and Slope, Lesson 12, Part 1. Solving systems of linear equations with the transitive property. Alright, first, review of how we learned how to solve systems last time. We would solve by graphing. We'll solve this one using graphing, and then we'll show how you would use the transitive property to solve the same equation, the same system. The y-intercept is -3, and the slope is 4. You go up 4 over 1. And here is our graph of y equals 4x minus 3. Now on the same set of axes, we're going to graph y equals x plus 3. So here's x plus, there's the plus 3. The up 1 over 1 will give us this, and we can also go down and back. So this would be y equals x plus 3. You can see that they cross right here at a nice location of 2, 5. So the solution is 2, 5 as long as it checks out. Let's check it out real quick. 5 equals 4 times 2 minus 3. So 5 equals 8 minus 3 is true. And 5 equals 2 plus 3 is also true. So it does work in both equations. So it is the solution. Now the transitive property. The transitive property states that if A equals B and B equals C, then, well, if these both equal B, then they're going to equal each other. So if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. So basically the transitive property says that if two things are equal to another thing, then they are equal to each other, which kind of makes sense. I can solve a system of linear equations using the transitive property. So the transitive property states if A equals B and B equals C, then A will equal C. What you're going to do is you're going to solve each equation for y. You're going to use the transitive property to get rid of y, to eliminate y. You'll solve the equation for x. You're going to get an answer, x equals something. You plug your answer back into one of the original equations and figure out what y is, and then you can write your answer x comma y. So let's take that first problem we did. We know the answer is going to be 2, 5 based on what we did with solving with graphing. So we already know what the answer is going to be. So step 1 was to solve each equation for y. That's already done here. Next, we're going to use the transitive property to eliminate y. Because 4x minus 3 equals y, and x plus 3 equals y. They both equal y. Therefore, they equal each other. So I've used the transitive property to get rid of y. Now I only have x. And I know how to solve this. We did this back in Unit 1. Let's get the x's on the same side. Subtract x. So 3x minus 3 equals 3. I can go ahead and add 3 to both sides here. So 3x equals 6. Then I can divide by 3. Getting the x by itself, x equals 2. So that was that step of solving for x. Now we're going to do step 4 and figure out what y is. Since we know what x is, we can use either of these equations to find y. Because y equals x plus 3, I can plug in 2 for x and find out that y equals 5. Once I know that x is 2 and y is 5, I get my solution 2, 5. Notice it's exactly the solution we got from graphing. It's just a different method. Okay, let's do another one. The first step is to get them both solved for y. Done. Because they both equal y, they will equal each other. So 2x plus 3 is the same as 5x because they both equal y. That's the transitive property. Now let's go ahead and subtract 2x to get the x's all on the same side. So 3 will equal 3x. Divide by 3 and we find that x equals 1. Once we know what x is, we can find y. Let's go ahead and use this equation. It looks a little easier to use. We'll plug in 1 for x, and we find that y is 5. This gives us the solution 1, 5, x, y. So without having to graph, I know that these equations, their graphs cross at the point 1, 5. That is the point that is a solution for both equations. All right, let's try another one. Y equals x minus 4 and y equals 4x minus 10. Because they both equal y, they will equal each other. So x minus 4 is the same as 4x minus 10. I can go ahead and subtract the x. That gives me negative 4 is 3x minus 10. Let's add the 10. So 3x is the same as 6, positive 6. Sorry, that's a horrible handwriting. Let me fix that. 6. Divide both sides by 3, and I get that x equals 2. Now I've got what x is. I go back and find y. If x is 2, then y is 2 minus 4. Y is negative 2. Therefore, the solution is 2, negative 2. X comma y. Another example. Y equals 2x plus 5 and y equals 3x minus 1. Because they are both equal to y, they are equal to each other. So 2x plus 5 is going to be the same as 3x minus 1. We can go ahead and solve by subtracting 2x from both sides. 5 is x minus 1. Add the 1, and x equals 6. Yeah, x equals 6. Then we have to find what y is. Let's just do this first one. Y is going to be 2 times 6 plus 5. That is 12 plus 5, which is 17. Y will equal 17. This gives us our answer of 6 comma 17. And we've got x, we've got y. We know where they cross. That one would be a little harder to do on a graph because 17 is kind of a big number. If you had enough graph paper, though, you'd be just fine.